Okay, it's hot sauce day. We've been having a lot of different hot sauces here. We've been tasting a lot. We've been breathing in a lot. It's one of those days here. Now, the next sauce we're going to be making here is a garlic habanero hot sauce. I think it's going to be quite thin in consistency. Tons of garlic in there. Some of the red habaneros. These are some of the last ones here from the massive case of habaneros that I picked up. And a few other things in it here. So come along for the ride. So for our ingredients here, the star of the show is going to be this garlic. We have got 10 ounces of peeled garlic that we just cut the little sort of root tips off of there. We've got 2 decent sized red bell peppers. They come out to 1 pound when we weighed them out. And with those, we're just giving them a rough chop here, just like so. In that same bowl there, we did throw in the zest from 1 lemon. Oh, there's some more of it right there. We've got 1 sort of, medium small yellow onion here. Just going to chop it up like that. Some 8s. I have 1 large lemon. You can see that's the one that we zested here. And we are going to add the whole lemon into it, but first I'm just going to cut off the rest of the skin and the pith and all that stuff here. Then I'm just going to cut it into quarters, add that in with everything else. And then just 2 ounces of these super spicy red habaneros. For those, it's just a simple matter of cutting off the stem, and I am going to just split them into half and add them in with everything else. We do have a 3rd red pepper here, so that's going to be an extra ½ pound, and we're just going to char that up on the propane grill. Just getting a little bit of char like that all the way around here. We didn't want to do that with all the peppers because we didn't want too much of that char smoke character in here, but just a little bit should be really nice. And while this is still piping hot, because I just like to try to burn my fingers, I'm just going to do the rough chop on this here as well and add it to the rest of the veg.
You already fried your tonsils, why not your fingers?
Yeah, exactly, right? All the rest of our veg here, peppers, onions, habaneros, lemon zest. Then we have some seasonings here. We've got 2 teaspoons of ground cumin, we have a teaspoon of kosher salt, a teaspoon of peppercorns, and a tablespoon of just white granulated sugar. And some Worcestershire sauce. 1 tablespoon. And we've got 4 cups of white 5% acetic acid vinegar. And now here in the Instant Pot, I'm going to do a 5-minute manual pressure cook. Now, due to a little technical difficulty there, I wound up recording some stuff in time-lapse mode, which is nuts. It kind of looks like stop-motion animation after I slowed it down. Just bear with me. After the pressure cook, we let the Instant Pot naturally depressurize and then took all of the contents and blended it in our glass blender here. We did that so we only had about halfway full here because we didn't want to risk any sort of explosion of spicy hot sauce. In fact, we threw a little towel over the top for the first few gentle pulses and then blended it for approximately 3 minutes each. We took all of the batches, added them to a stainless pot, and then we were ready to taste and adjust. We now resume our regularly timed filming, and you get to enjoy the sweet sounds of children upstairs playing air hockey.
Ready?
Here we go. Well, there's some garlic there.
Yep.
Hey, it's the first one we made today that isn't incredibly over hot. So of course, because we always love playing around with stuff here, we are going to add a tablespoon of some garlic powder to this, and hopefully that'll give a little bit more of that kind of slightly roastier garlic character. And to boost the umami, we've got some Maggie sauce. We're going to go with a teaspoon of that. We're going to whisk it all up and have a little taste. And now, after much debate, just because this is still a little vinegar heavy, we're going to be adding a ½ cup of some filtered water. And just to help balance out, again, some of that sour character, we're going to go with a ¼ cup of golden brown sugar. And I think lastly, just to kind of boost the umami a little bit more, we're going to go with a teaspoon of some MSG.
Well, that rounded it out.
Yeah. We're happy. I'm going to package. So for packaging here, we're going to use 250 ml wide mouth mason jars. These have been sanitized. You can either just do that in your dishwasher in a sanitize cycle. We used 5 Star San sanitizer that we use in our home brewing because it is fantastic. I highly recommend it. Now I'm going to just jar this using this really great silicone funnel, getting it up to about a ½ inch or so from the top. and repeating with the rest. So now we're just going to add all of these jars to the hot water bath. And I have my Anova sous vide set at 150 degrees Fahrenheit. Just going to let these hang out in the water bath. And after just over 2 hours, our jars are pasteurized here and we can get this hot sauce out. That recipe made 11 of these 8-ounce or 250 ml jars of this red habanero garlic sauce. Now, as fun as it is to make this hot sauce, my favorite part here, of course, is the tasting of the finished product. So let's do exactly that. All right, this has a really nice complex garlic character going on. There was all that fresh garlic in it, and then also the garlic powder, which balances and rounds that out. Garlic heavy and garlic right in the front. It's delightful. A lot of really nice heat going on there. It's just definitely like in that medium, just slightly more than medium heat there. It's got a nice lingering burn from the red habaneros. There's just a little hint of citrus there from the lemon. We've got some of that cumin character coming through, which plays really nicely with that garlic and with that little bit of sear that we had on one of those red bell peppers. And then just a really nice balance there with that little bit of sugar that we added and just a splash of that water too, balancing out the acidity from all that vinegar that's in here. And finally, just that Maggie sauce and a little bit of MSG just rounded everything out. Incredibly delicious. This is going to be fantastic on all sorts of food, or even, I guess, just by itself. Now, as with so many of my other Instant Pot precision cooker finishing hot sauce recipes, really easy to make, especially if you have those tools already. If you give it a whirl, let me know how it turns out for you. And until next time, keep your hot sauces at 11.